It is Show Us Your Tips, October the 27th, 2020. Hot off the back of Cox Plate Day and a interesting day in Sydney. Beaver, how'd Cox Plate Trade Day? Let's start that again. How did Cox Plate Day treat you, sir?
Very well, thank you, Daggy. No, it was a good day. Very, very, very good day, actually. Panned out exactly how I wanted to, outside of the Cox Plate, which I didn't follow your value bet of the day, Daggy. So one for me, uppercut for me there.
Did you owe me a beer as
Disappointed in
well?
myself, I didn't.
Was that last week?
I think I owe you a beer from last Wednesday, actually, mate.
Oh, it was Wednesday. That's right. Yeah, it was. It was
Yeah.
Wednesday.
But yeah, that was one of the few ones that I didn't follow your lead there with one of your nice value bets, and yeah, I paid the penalty there. But outside of that, got some really nice bets up, and some horses that really came into calculations seemed to get up. Sovereign Award, Cherry Tortini, La Mexicana, all pretty good wins. And then similarly in Sydney, a few there.
Yeah, well, the only one I really got wrong was, and I don't even know, I can't really explain it. Apart from Ice Bath in the Nath, what's going on tonight? I need my coffee. Ice Bath in the last, which I've sort of potted, and she was very impressive, and I will actually be giving her a chance this week. And I did tip the staying race at about 30s when I mentioned that. But I jumped off high-low. I don't even know why. Even now, I'm not sure why, but I just decided I was against high-low and missed that one. But apart from that, it was a very productive day for both of us, which was
yeah, Sydney, which was
good.
my best bet of the day.
Yeah, I got to the stage and just went right around it, and I couldn't get even to this
Very
day.
smart ride, that one, because they weren't coming from back in the field, and so they rode high-low on the pace, and I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, well, that's more or less the theory I came up with, that it was going to be back and wide, but great ride there. How do you think Moonee Valley played? Was it as on pace as it seemed, or?
I think so. I think it was certainly on pace, was an advantage, no doubt about it for me, and that certainly panned out that way in predominantly most of the races.
I saw the counter argument, which, thinking about it, makes a little bit of sense, that ultimately no one that was settled back in the field that was supposed to finish in the finish missed out, given Cherry was able to run on and Miami bound. So I can see that a lot of those leaders early could have been pace and talent related. I'll quickly mention the coming of age of Jamie Carr. She's now an elite jockey in Melbourne, and I think you have to treat her that way if you haven't already. Probably will end up the greatest female jockey you've seen to date, if she's not already, to be honest. And her, I know there's a couple of duck and weave rides, but I just love the ride on Sovereign Award, where she just said,
"Oh, it was good, wasn't it?"
She said, "Right, I'm on the best horse that can sit on pace."
Really?
Yep, we got Grant back. Yeah, as I was saying, I love the ride on Sovereign Award. I just love when they take the best horse to the front and just don't give anything else a chance. And
got tight at the end, but
the damage was done.
Yeah, just put too big a space in it.
I'd rather win by a nose and get beaten being unlucky trying to flash home from being on the other side of that. The two other quickly things I really want to mention. The win of Miami Bound, if you're saying that's an on-pace track, that was an incredible win, really. And from all reports, that was quite a high-rating race and maybe a chance at a Melbourne Cup. Well, she's going there.
Look, I think in the races where they're a little bit longer, some of the horses, like even Sir Dragonet, finished from middle of the field. So I think there was some ability to come from off the pace if you took off early enough.
Yeah,
and they took off early enough and circled. And there's certainly horses that seem to handle that type of going.
Yeah,
but there was no doubt, if you look at some of the other races, on pace was, if you're able to dictate the speed, then you were certainly had an advantage.
Yep. Very quickly, the Cox Plate itself, you'd argue actually Well, first of all, what do you make of, I guess, Russian Camelot and the Australians?
Look, I thought Russian Camelot had every chance. Certainly had every chance. I know plenty of people are still tipping at Melbourne Cup, but I just can't. I just don't see it.
Well, I would
Given the last two
argue
runs,
if you look at the finishing order, take out the first two, Russian Camelot, Mugger 2, Arcadia Queen, Fierce Impact, Probable, and then a gap back to Master of Wine, that could easily, that would make sense in any Australian Group 1. Like I say, I'm saying they all render their ability, and the two that beat them home were
yep,
better horses.
yep, correct.
And I am not interested in Camelot in the Melbourne Cup. I'm with you there. I'd rather have something good. Like I said, Mummy Bound at probably 20s or 30s if I had to back an Australian horse. And if it's an absolute bog, I'll back Very Elegant again. Other than that, I'm looking
Yep.
for if Dragon A. Whoops, better plug my laptop in and lose that one as well. Other than that, I would get in there. Yeah, I'm looking towards Van Dyke, and if Dragon A backs up, it can run well again.
Oh, 100%. It was a very impressive run. No doubt about it. It hit the line hard, and yeah, it was still full of running.
Yep. Nothing else to take away from the weekend. We probably covered it as concisely as we can there.
No, I think that's about it, mate.
Beautiful. We will have a comprehensive Melbourne Cup preview. We'll have a standalone Melbourne Cup preview through progroupracing.com on Sunday night, as well as a preview of the rest of the card. So we'll be looking into covering all aspects there. If you want to just find a first four and the winner of the big race to throw on for everyone, or if you want to get deep and dirty with us for the full show, we'll have both options there. So progroupracing.com, as well as their Facebook and our Facebook pages. And that'll be up, so you can share that with your friends and knock off the old Melbourne Cup morning trifecta. But till then, we do have to get into tomorrow, which is a less than Melbourne Cup standard meeting, I would say.
Yes, 100%.
Kensington, or wet Kensington, which does drain okay, but God, there's been a lot of rain. And Bendigo Cup Day down south, but we'll kick off at Kenzo. It is a heavy 8. They did cop over 40 mil Sunday night and about 8 mil yesterday, a little bit today. It's supposedly more coming tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be the other big day. So I guess let's play it by ear. Last time was Rail True and Heavy was that Hot Leaders Day where Olympic Legend won and Space Boy won and another one of yours led all the way, maybe Space Boy. So I want to see, I'm still sort of treating it as normal Kenzo that you can probably run on later in the day for now, but I'd want to see how it pans out first. I am pretty keen on one in the first, Beaver. What about yourself?
No, nothing for me, mate. What do you like?
This Sahra, Snowden horse, it won impressively in the wet on debut down at Kembla, then came to town and made match motors into it, just chased home. I won't say match motors, but did chase home the horse that ran second. I've just had a mental blank. The horse that ran second to Ole Kirk. Where is it here? I want to say for it. Yeah,
North Pacific.
North Pacific. That's the one. I think that's serious form, and
It is serious form.
Trialed only quietly. One trial here, but there's not much it's got to beat here. And I think when you look at Lord Olympus been up for a while now, and the rest of them are midweek horses. If I've got a feeling this is a nice horse, wet's fine, obviously, and if you can run on early, I'm pretty keen to start day of the winner in Sahra.
Yeah, nice one.
Where are you going to first for the day at Sydney?
Yeah, mate. I left the second alone. Look, the favourite's a bit short for me. Should be hard to beat.
Yeah, it's a nothing race, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not a lot in this race, and so I left that alone. My first bet of the day comes up in the third in Wahira Falls. The Waller trained horse. Really liked its last run at Hawkesbury. Hit the line really well. Look, I think this is a similar race, and And on the quick backup, 5 days suggests to me that the Wallace stable thinks this can win again. So around the $3 mark, I'm happy to play on race 3, number 4.
I was at Hawkesbury that day, and that was a pretty ordinary race. That said, so is this. So I can't pot you for saying that. The one with the proper Saturday form is Dream Circle, but it's David Payne, and unless it's Montefilia, I don't back David Payne. So can't not. End of the day, it's probably going to have the same run here, and potentially the same result wherever he falls. Quick backup is always a tick. The one at double figures, if I had to have a bet, or which I will probably end up backing, despite the jockey, but Blinker's on first time. Liston Varna is a wet tracker, has at least have Saturday form. Was going just okay, but this is a terrible race. And I think if it's not the up-and-comer in Wariri, then I think Liston Varna may get back to her best here. But definitely no knock on you for tipping that. Into the 4th. Another less than inspiring field here. But have you got an opinion?
Yeah, look, I thought the run of, and I know you don't like Wyon form, but race 4, number 8, El Bawuna, from the Wallace stable and Tommy Berry aboard, third up in this race, up to 1,300. Thought its run at Wyong last start was a really nice run. It hit the line well again, was specced in the market. Was a maiden, which does worry me coming out of a maiden into a race like this. But previously has had one run in the soft and ran okay, but has trialled on the heavy track and trialled well enough back in August. I think it's around the $5 mark, presents decent value in a race like this.
Yeah, I don't like Wyon form, which is why I went away from it. For me here, I'm with Jess Field. I had no luck last start at Warwick Farm. Just had to get right across heels. Before that, not far off Emanate. Before that, did win at Wyong, beat Shadow Crush, who's come to town and won. And then first up last prep.
Talk about Wyong form, mate.
I know. And then first up last prep, it was in a race where it's 4 lengths off Shout the Bar and Plaquette. But I think it's going right over Jess Field. And when your second tip's going to be Fast Coney, just because it'll probably lead, then absolutely Fresh Blood's fine here in terms of Elbruna. So, yeah, for me, Jess Field, number 5. But again, it's a day where I would never really bag anything because, well, where else do you find the options if you're not having an opinion? Race 5, anything in the 5th? The Waller horse here again, or?
Yeah, I'm going Waller and Berry again. So
Yeah.
I'm tipping 3 in a row.
Yep.
From Waller and Berry. Again, I think it gets the right race again. Third up after a spell, drawn a little wider on the track. But look, this horse is going really well at the moment. The scratching of Un-American, which won today, just makes this race a little bit more open. And I think Nyami's certainly got to be the horse to beat.
Yeah, I agree. I've also got the feeling, and back to the last as well, without J-Mac here, it looks like Tommy Berry's Waller's go-to jockey at the moment. So I suppose that's a tick. It is tied to Deadly Impact, but I thought it had a little bit on Deadly Impact at Kembla in that win. It's at least lightly raced, won both starts this prep, and he's pretty good at picking the right time to come to town. So I don't want to touch anything else in this race. I would have backed an American here, but as you said, it won today. And yeah, I'm with you in this case. Waller and Berry with Nyami for both of us. Tough mares race the 6th. I'm going to tip Snippy Fox here, the 7. Ground has sort of had 2 runs where it's ground home and sort of looks like it's going backwards and then picked itself up and gone straight and run really well through the line the last 100. Twice over 13, out to 14 helps. 2 from 2 in the heavy is also a tick. And and I just don't want to be. I thought the favourite, I didn't like it in the wet, and I thought it had a bit of a charmed run last start. I don't know if we know Femini quite well now. It's done nothing for a long time, and there's nothing else in this race. So
Yeah, the Louise Day takes a 3 kilo
and a
claim, which
claim,
brings
that's
it
right.
at 55.
So and she does quite.
So
She does
that's
actually
certainly going to help.
definitely, and she does ride quite well in the wet, Louise Day. So, but about $7.50 last I looked. That'd be my play here. Yourself? Or are you passing? You there?
Yep.
No.
Just paused for a
Yeah.
sec.
No, you just got a bit fuzzy again. What about yourself? Anything in the sixth, or are you going straight to the last?
Nothing for the 6 for me, mate. Happy to let you play there.
Cool. And what about the last? Before we wrap up our thoughts.
Yeah, I'm going to
Kenzo.
back up on Shadow Crush in the last. Look, we tipped that last start. It's no reason it can't win again. It was pretty impressive. Again, it's drawn to get a good run, gets the services of Tom Sherry, which will give it a 3 kilo claim, gets it in at 57. This isn't, again, an overly strong field. Couple of chances here. Deference and Let It Pour can run well, but Shadow Crush, look, I think, it's going to be hard to beat.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to, that's probably the starting point for me. I'm actually, when I started the form, it's actually quite an interesting race, but I'm happy to say Let It Pour's probably got none. And then a bit against Deference. So it's sort of that. And then for me, I like the first up one as well. I like the trial of Volpine. Trialled away at Gosford and trialled very nicely. Goes well in the wet. And it looks like just drawn out Brock Ryan, 2 kilo claim from 54 down to 52. I'm thinking it's going to try and get straight across like it did in the trial and lead. And if it does that, very hard to run down. Other than that, obviously Shadow Crush. I would have had something on the Baker horse here if it hadn't been scratched as well, and Believe, but it's out now. So around the each way play for me in the last Volpine. And I think we'll leave that Kenzo meeting there. You are in charge of the Sydney Quaddy, though. Have you got one for us?
Yeah, mate, I do. So if you're ready.
Yeah, fire. Hang on, I'll write this down.
I'm going to go numbers 1, 5, and 8 in the first leg. In the second leg, I'm going to go numbers 4, 7, 8, and 9.
Yep.
In the third leg, I'm going 2, 3, 6, and 7. And to round out the day, I'm going numbers 2, 5, 13, and 1.
Beautiful. And your best in value?
Yeah, my best bet of the day comes up in race 5, number 4, Nyami. And my value bet of the day comes up in race 4, number 8, El Buena.
I'm going to make my, I might top and tail it here. Sahra, my best in the first. And I'll make Snippy Fox. I won't. I'll make the sixth. Number 7, race 6, number 7, Snippy Fox. The value around $7.50 for me. Let's head down south to the Bendigo Cup meeting. It's currently soft 6. The rain had cleared. I believe there's a little bit of drizzle around tomorrow, but should be on the better side of heavy anyway. Rail in the True played a little bit inside last fortnight ago, I thought, but generally is a very fair track and quite good to bet on Bendigo. I left the first 3 alone. Did you do the same, or you like something in those?
I left the first 2 alone, and I thought in race 3, number 7, All About Fashion, from the Dominic Hayes stable, 1 start, 1 win. Sent out for a spell. Resumes tomorrow. I think this is a horse with a little bit of ability in a moderate field, and I think it can win again first up.
I think it might be a good day for the Hayes team tomorrow, the Dabinigan Hayes team.
Yeah.
So yeah, perfect. Race 4 is benchmark 78. I'm gonna my first play today. He will be Overkill, saved from last week. We spoke about it last Wednesday, and around the $4 mark, I think from gate 10 can roll across and pretty much control here at the 1,000-meter mark and 1,100-meter mark, I should say. I think it's a nice horse. Has formed through city class in town, and I'm gonna make it one of my better bets today. Overkill to kick me off. Any thoughts here?
Yeah, I thought Overkill looked really hard to beat. The horse I thought was its main danger was number 2, High Stranger, the $8 mark. So last start, it's resuming tomorrow, but prior to that, it ran 4th in a Flemington race on soft going behind Lord Von Coster and Great Again, which I think is not bad form, just a couple of lengths off them.
Yep.
And then the start prior to that ran 2nd behind Front Page, which is a horse I know you like, which was pretty good form. And also ran well in a Flemington the start before that. So certainly looks to be back a little bit in class here. First up, look, I think it's had 1 start for 1 win at this track and distance. Yeah, I think it can run well.
It's actually tied as well, similarly, and similar play here. We saw the astrologist through this same form line come out and bolt in 2 weeks back, and it tangled with it. And yeah, it's the tried and true, I suppose. And around,
yeah,
you can back it. You can back that each way quite comfortably in this race, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was a sneaky chance.
Yeah, no, good find there. 64 is a 5th. Any thought?
What do you got?
I'm gonna. I mentioned this a couple of weeks back again as well. There's 2 here. There's one that's having its 2nd start, which I tipped 3 weeks back at Bendigo as well. Far enough, and it was a bit big and dumb on debut, and still quite impressive, I thought. But Anitra's been running in town. It's still $11, and I think this is worth an each way play. 5 weeks ago, ran behind Grand Slam. Or ran Grand Slam
Yep.
in to half a length. Obviously, went to the Cox Plate from there, and that's the pole and Grand Slam for which Embolism came out as well. Before that,
half a length off them too.
Yeah, before that has form alongside Succeed Indeed, who you can tie to Swats at, and a few others as well. And for a benchmark 64, $11 here is a great bet. I'd only be worried about the 2 up. Probably the same theory here, checkerboard. If you forget the end of prep run behind Cherry Tortoni, it looks a horse of talent. They're both double figures. And then you got the 2 up-and-comers here, Miratawa, who was lame last start, and Far Enough, who's like I said, coming into the 2nd start here. But, I thought you could play the 2 at double figures there, the 11 and the 1, and hopefully get a result.
Yeah, I think you're right there. It's a really tricky race, this. As you said, you've got 2 horses there that have got some pretty good form lines. And then you've got, as you say, Miratawa, who was very impressive first up. Didn't pull up well after last start. So pretty much put a line through that. So this is a really, really interesting race. You could back any of 2 or 3 things and miss out, but also get a collect.
Yeah.
If you get your staking right.
Yeah, this is where I'll be trying, like I said, build a book around those 2 and probably Miratoa. And, you get one of them in place and get the winner. You've had a nice result in the race. Similarly tough race, the 6, start of the quaddie. We see for Shade and the Kiwi horse first up, and then a few going around. Exildia, horse of some talent that maybe didn't stay at the end of its prep. Any opinion or too hard with some of these?
Again, hard to really line up some of this New Zealand form, given it's not even at some of the main tracks in New Zealand, it being Riccarton Park and Ashburton. So
Yeah, it's more
really
West
can't
Coast
line that
races.
form up. Yeah, that's right. Look, I'm looking towards Airborne from the Freeman stable. It's first up tomorrow. Probably ran in some good races last preparation and showed a little bit in those. Certainly appeared to have a few problems. I think if they've ironed those out, this horse might have a little bit more ability than what its recent form suggests. So I'm willing to have a bit of a play on Airborne.
Great, fantastic. Yeah, I want to see some of these, see how they return before I really get involved. But it's always been a horse with a spruik airborne. So, like you said, if they get it right,
Yes.
it could be very good. The main event is the Bendigo Cup over the 2400 meter Group 3. A few usual suspects here. How are you going? You going to go Zabrowski into the A grade form, or are you going elsewhere?
Um, I'm going to Saracen Knight.
Yeah. Disappointing last
I
start, or are you just saying
thought
maybe second
I
up?
I did think it was a little disappointing last start, but I think they rode it a bit close to the speed.
Mm.
So I'm hoping it's a little bit ridden a bit more quietly tomorrow, back in the field, more midfield than sort of the one out, one back. Um, don't know if it really just seemed to get lost a little bit, and so maybe it was a bit yeah, just wasn't ready for that run and was looking for a bit of more fitness under its belt. So the step up in distance seemed just deployed. So I'm hopefully that's got a bit more fitness from its last run and can produce a similar run to the start before. Certainly, I think it likes the sting out of the ground, and getting a soft to heavy truck tomorrow will benefit. And yeah, I'm expecting improvement.
Excellent. The two I'll play around is I really liked finally look back on track last start. Good idea. Finally showed pace, having had the 2500 meter run into 2400 meter run. So it's finally fitting up and going. Led that race up. Only got collared late by Yonkers, and it finally showed something. Loves the wet, and at 20-1 is probably where our best result will be. And I'm forgiving Lord Belvedere. Pulled up lame and lost a shoe
Yep.
last start. Uh, Obviously, that race I was tipping it to beat Persan. So just putting a pen through that. Before that was 3 from 3 this prep. So uh, yeah, just saying they're too obvious. Couldn't really
Yeah,
decide on the.
I
Sorry, carry on.
certainly agree with you with Lord Belvedere. It's certainly into this in this race up to its ears.
Yeah, and then Saracen was the next pick from there. I think Zabrowski's now had too many grand finals for me to be involved with it. And yeah, longish tail after that. Inverloch, if it does run on a 4-day backup, can probably run well as well. But yeah,
Yep.
that's the Bendigo Cup. Couple of less exciting races to finish the day in the 8th. Were you with the Hayes horse here as well?
I didn't have anything here, mate.
No, I thought, yeah, I didn't have a lot to finish the day with. Zendi, if it does cross in the lead for Zach Spain, can run well around the double figure mark in a benchmark 70. And anything to finish the day? A couple of our old favourites.
Yeah, look, I did like Campese.
Mm.
Thought its first run back from the spell was pretty good.
Yep.
Won well, and I think it should be really hard to beat again in the last year at the $4 mark. I think that's really good value.
Mm. Yeah, the market's right here. Campese from Venice back to Roxanne. So yeah, top pick for me in the last as well, the 12. Yeah, the 3 obvious in the last, where I'm in charge of the quaddy. Probably not as simple as yours, but so to start off, we've got all the resumers 2, 3, 5, 8, 10, 13, 14. Into 2, 3, 4, 6, 11, 13. Going to skinny up now. 3, 7, 8 into 7, 11, 12. It gets about 16% that. pretty sure. I'll double check that. My best of the day is going to be. Oh, we lost it here. Oh, I'm going to make Overkill my best. Bit nervous declaring that on the wet track first up. And my value around a 20 to 1 is going to be a good idea. How about yourself?
Yeah, look, my best bet of the day comes up in the last, so I'm going to have some money to play with there. Is Campese, race 9, number 12. And my value bet of the day comes up in race 6, number 5, Airborne, at around the $8 mark.
Good work. Anything up north? You had a look at Queensland?
I did.
What have you
Yeah,
got?
mate, I had a couple up in Queensland for you. Couldn't let the punters down here. Got 3 up in Ipswich, mate. Race 2, number 5, Queen Dazzler. About even money, but should be winning early and giving us a bit of a bank to play with. I then liked in race 5, number 4, Dominant King, about the 6 to 4. And I finished up in the last race, a horse named after you, mate. Race 7, number 2, Hard Labour.
That's me. You can tell from my hands.
Yeah, that's it.
I got a
We don't know
callus
what.
from reading the other day.
Say no more.
Yeah. So it made Mariah do it. That's all right. Good job, mate. So we've got a busy week coming up. Check out progrepracing.com. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts and your videos. We're up everywhere. We're going to have about 5 shows in the next week and a bit, so don't miss all the action. Big week ahead. Going to be seeing a lot of your headers, I've said, Beaver. So hopefully we come out the other side with some money in our pockets as well.
That's the plan.
Cool. All right, mate. Go get some rest. Got some big form tomorrow, and I will see you
Perfect.
Friday for our Saturday show.
Perfect, mate. Look forward to it.